Welcome to our functional fitness class, part of our Grow with GoGo series. Before we get moving, just a quick reminder of what else GoGo offers. So in addition to these classes, you can access rides, meals, groceries, medication delivery, and home services. Home services is just things that you need done in or around your house. And you can access all of this by calling one number. That phone number is 855-464-6872. We also have a referral program. So if you go to the bottom of your GoGo receipts, there is a code. If you give that code to a friend, once they've taken their first service with GoGo, you will both receive $10 in GoGo credit. So just a nice win-win. We have a Facebook group, so if you ever want to connect with other GoGo members or just see how other people are using GoGo, you can find us on Facebook and we'll share a link to our page in the chat. And with that, I'll introduce myself. So if we haven't met, I'm Aedra. I teach the yoga and the functional fitness classes here at GoGo. Let's see, what do we need? So for functional fitness, I usually have a chair, although the class is primarily standing. I also have some light weights. On Friday, if you were with me, I wasn't using weights, I was just using the air. But if you have some light weights, you can grab some weights, 1 to 3 pounds. You could also grab water bottles or cans, or of course, nothing at all. And just imagining that you're lifting something can also work your muscles. So no worries if you don't have dumbbells or don't want to grab a can or a water bottle. Let's see. We are Wednesday, so that means there is a move of the week. Not the yoga move of the week, which was what I gave you last Wednesday, but the previous Wednesday for functional fitness. Does anyone remember the move of the week? I'm peeking at my cheat sheet. You can just shout it out or unmute yourself. I'm going to stop sharing the screen. No one remembers. How'd you do with our legs? It was a new move. It wasn't one that I've ever given before. All right, I guess we're gonna have to do it again today. It was leg lifts, straight leg lifts, so seated, lifting your legs. Oh. If that doesn't make any sense, it's okay, we'll do them today as well. Work those thighs. All right, enough chatting, let's move. So in a moment here, my screen should pop up nice and big. If it doesn't, you have to adjust your settings. So the way you would do that is you would move your cursor to the top right-hand corner of your Zoom screen, and a box will pop up that says View. I'm just fixing my mic here. That says View, and then you would just change it to Speaker View if you want to see me nice and big, or Gallery View if you want to see everybody else. Okay, let's start in a nice standing position, standing nice and tall. We'll inhale, circle the arms out to the side and up towards the ceiling. And then lower the arms back down. Again, inhale, circle the arms out and up. Exhale, back down. One more. And lower the arms down. Let's do some shoulder rolls. So big shoulder rolls backwards. And shoulder rolls go the other way. And then let your shoulders relax. Take your feet wide, wider than the shoulders, and just let yourself twist. Twisting your body, letting those arms swing. You could even let one leg lift or your heel lift as you twist, or you can keep your feet stationary. So whatever feels good here. All right, and then coming back to center. We'll inhale, open up the arms and lift the chest. A little back bend here, stretch the front of your body. And then exhale, round your back, bring the backs of your hands to touch. Tuck your tail, drop your chin. So we inhale, open the front of the body. Exhale, open up the back of the body. Keep going, follow your breath. So don't worry about my speed or anybody else's. So just a reminder that this is your time and your practice. So if you ever want to modify, add something, subtract something, take a break, please do. Listen to your body. You are in charge of your safety. All right, and let's come back up. Standing nice and tall, and then we'll move into some side bending. So reaching one leg down, one hand down your leg, and then the other. You can go as fast or as slow as you'd like. All right, and then coming to center. Let's take the feet at least as wide as the shoulders and maybe a little wider for some warm-up squats. So no weight right now. Toes can point forward or just slightly out to the side. Make sure your knees track along the same line as your toes as you bend your knees and straighten. I'll give you several different angles, but you don't need to move. I'm just showing you so you can see lots of different angles. So hips go back. Chest is lifted, but it can lean forward. You can lean forward a little bit. You go as fast or as slow as you'd like. As always, if this is too much, make it smaller. Or just take one component of the squat and focus on that. Couple more. All right, and then coming to stand, shake it off. Go ahead and grab your weights if you have them, or cans or water bottles, whatever you have. We'll go into some bicep curls. So let your palms turn to face forward. And then we bend the elbows, hands come towards the shoulders, and then lower down with control. So our biceps tend to be one of the stronger arm muscles that we have. So we're going to do plenty of these. So not just 10, but we'll be doing more than 10. You decide how fast you go, but make sure that you're going smoothly, that there's no momentum, that you're not just swinging your arms to make this happen, right? We want to keep the upper arm still and really hinge just at the elbow, so the elbow stays close to the body the entire time. If you do not have weight, imagine that you are lifting and lowering something heavy. Or if you feel as though your weight is too light, think about imagining that you're really trying to lift something heavy. Your muscles will activate more. And then as you lower your arms, you're trying to slowly lower with control. So there are always ways to make this harder if you don't have the weight that is challenging on the muscles if you were just moving naturally. Couple more. All right, and then let's put those weights down. We're going to stand behind our chair and take our legs out wide. I'm going to take my socks off so I don't slide around on the hardwood floor. If you're on hardwood, you might consider either making sure you have shoes on or taking your socks off if you're in socks. So feet are going wide. And then from there, you're going to walk those feet back so that you're in an upside down L position. So I'll give you a side view as well. You don't need to move sideways. So I'm going into that upside down L, but my feet are wide. So from this wide position, you're going to sway your hips. See if I can make this so that you can see well. A little right and left. That's almost like you're wagging your tail to one side and then to the other. So you might find that as you let your hips go to one side, you'll feel an inner thigh stretch. And then as you go to the other side, you'll feel the inner thigh on the second side. Couple more. And finding center, walking your feet back together, lifting your torso up, and shaking it off. All right, so we're going into a leg exercise, some side lunges. If you'd like, you can have your weights by your chest. The weight of our body is plenty heavy, so don't feel like you need to grab your weights. It's just an option. It sometimes helps keep our chest lifted. So if you have your weights, let them be up by your chest. Take your feet nice and wide, so definitely wider than the shoulders and the hips. Toes can point forward or just slightly out to the side. We'll bend one knee and let the hips go back. So one leg is straight, one knee is bent. So you'll feel probably an inner thigh stretch on that straight leg. Then lift the torso and come up. We bend the other knee, hips go back and up. So I'll give you a side view as well. So we bend the knee, the hips really do go back, the torso can come forward. And then we bend the other knee. So keep going here at your own pace. As always, don't worry about anybody else. Take care of your body. Maybe one more time each side. And once you're even right to left, bring your feet back towards each other. You can shake out the legs. We're going back to our bicep curls. So grabbing those weights, palms turn to face forward. We bend the elbows, hands towards the shoulders, and lower the hands down. Keep going. Couple more. All right. And then let's bring those weights by the chest if you want to use them. Otherwise, put them to the side. Back to those side lunges. So repeating those side lunges. Feet go nice and wide, wider than the shoulders. We bend one knee, hips go back, and then come up. If you want to add some breathing, inhale on the way down. Exhale as you rise. Keep going. It's up to you how low you go. This can be big or small. Make it work for your body today. Start to even yourself out so you've done the same right to left. And come all the way up. Bring those legs back together. All right. Let's put our weights to the side and come sit on our chair. I'm sitting sideways just so you can see me better. You can face your computer screen or your tablet. Go ahead and sit towards the front edge of your chair so there is plenty of room behind you. Plant those feet down onto the ground. Cross your arms in front of your body. However you want to cross is fine. We're going to lean back and see if you can bring yourself all the way to your back rest. Now we're going to do a sit-up so you can round your back here. Think about, though, as you do your sit-up, think about pulling your belly button towards your spine, kind of a pull in and up. So inhale, prepare. Exhale, pull your belly button in as you sit up, and you can curl a little bit. Then flatten out your spine, lean back. So do a hinge back, touch your back rest if you can. If it's too far, scoot yourself back. And then curve the spine. You can even tuck your tail. Exhale, sit up. Sit nice and tall at the top. Inhale, leaning back, flat back on your way back. Exhale, curve the spine and sit up. Keep going. If your feet come off the ground as you lean back, that's okay. No big deal. If you're trying to keep them down, you could also put them under your couch if you have access, right? I could turn around and put my feet under the couch and then my feet would stay down, but no big deal. Couple more. Maybe one more. All right, and then sitting tall, relaxing those arms. Let's move into our legs now. Moving into just a little march. So just a lift and lower of the legs. Your spine is staying still and staying out of it. So our previous move of the week was doing straight leg lifts. So here our knees are bent. We're doing bent leg lifts. Now we'll go ahead and straighten one leg forward in front of you. Doesn't matter which leg. So you're going to straighten one leg forward in front of you. I like the foot flexed so the toes are up towards the ceiling. Now, without bending that straight leg, without changing the shape of the spine, we're going to lift that leg up. I like to try and lift it at least parallel to the earth and then lower back down to maybe an inch off the ground. Lift and lower. Keep going. We're trying not to move the shape, not change the shape of the spine. So the spine stays still as you move that leg up and down. So you should feel those thigh muscles working. Leg is straight. I like to hold on to my chair. Somehow that makes it feel a little more bearable. Couple more. All right, and then let that go. Rebend that knee and we switch sides. So other leg is straight. Toes point up towards the ceiling or are flexed and up towards the ceiling. That leg stays straight. We lift it up so it's at least parallel to the earth or higher and lower back down to almost touch the ground. Up and down. So we'll feel those quad muscles or the front of the thigh working. We're trying not to change the shape of the spine. Couple more. All right, and then go ahead and release, bend the knee. Windshield wiper your knees a little side to side. All right, back to our core exercise. So arms can cross in front of the body. You have plenty of room behind you between your back and your back rest. Flat back, lean back, find your back rest, and then curve the spine. to come up. Sit tall at the top. So we inhale as you lean back. Exhale, belly button towards the spine. Sit up. Keep going. Maybe one or two more. Next time you're sitting tall, stay up and relax your arms. So we'll go back to those leg lifts. So we're straightening one leg forward in front of you, other knee stays bent. Spine tries not to get involved, so try not to move your torso. There might be a little tucking of the tail as you do this, but we're in general trying to keep the torso still. From here, we're lifting the leg up and lowering it back down. So up and down with control. The slower you go, the harder this will be. All right, let's switch sides. Bend the knee, other leg straightens. Foot is flexed, so toes face up to the ceiling. Lift and lower. All right, and then wrapping that up, rebend the knee. All right, let's come up to stand. Take your time. We're going to work on some balance before we go into a standing marching exercise. So let's have one hand on your chair or your table or your wall. I know that we often do two hands, but then if we lift our leg, our knee is going to run into the chair. So one hand on. From here, we're going to lift. I'll mirror you. So we'll lift that left heel off the ground. That's step one. Step two, I'm going to try and lift that left foot completely off the ground. If this feels crazy, if this feels like too much, bring the toes back down. And maybe if you're feeling like that's too easy, bring the toes down and let go. So I'll say all those options again. We're holding on. One foot is down. The other foot just has the toes down. Other option would be not holding on, same position. Next option would be holding on and your leg is all the way up. Fourth option would be leg is all the way up and you're not holding on. Staring at something that is not moving is helpful. So maybe finding that focal point. And then we'll go ahead and bring the leg down, shake it off. We'll go to the other side. If you want to turn around so that your other hand is on the chair, that's totally fine. I'm just going to stay where I am though. So we're standing on one leg, then that right heel, if I'm mirroring you, right heel would come up. You can choose to hold on or not. Maybe that right foot comes completely off the ground. Again, you're holding on or not, and we hold. You can also play with all of these different positions. Take your time, be kind to your body. So ideally when we're walking, we have these moments where only one foot is supporting us. We're not shuffling. We actually have a moment where one leg is off the ground. All right, bring that foot down. Okay, so now we're going into some marching. If that feels like too much, you can alternate just heel raises, either holding on or not, right? So one heel comes up and then the other, that's option one, either holding on or not. And then your next option would be to move into marching, again, holding on or not. But let your marching be slow for more challenge. The faster you go, then the shorter amount of time you have to be balancing on one leg. The slower you go, the more balancing work is involved. This also works your abdominals a little bit, especially as you bring your knee higher. So nice slow marching, holding on or not. Do this for just another 30 seconds or so. All right, and then let's wrap that up. Take a break, shake it off. And then we'll go back to our arms. So go ahead and grab your weights. So we're moving into a variation of the bicep curl. So our first bicep curl, we had our palms forward. Now we're going to try and turn those palms slightly out. So instead of the palms being straight forward, we're externally rotating and turning those palms out. It can be hard to stay in this position, so try and be honest with yourself and notice as you start to want to turn in. That rotation of turning the palms out is happening both at the shoulder and at the forearm. So think about that full rotation out. And then we bend the elbow. So now I'm going into a W shape and then back down. So keep going here at your own pace, trying to maintain that W shape as you go. Again, if it's not enough weight, just imagine you're carrying heavy weight. If it's too much, get rid of the weight. You can move through this range of motion without weight. Watch yourself, notice how we might have this tendency to want to come back to that original position that we were doing bicep curls in. Couple more. All right, and then let's put those weights off to the side. And we're going back to our marching. All of the other variations still hold. So those heel raises with one foot down, either holding on or not, that original march, holding on or not. If you want more challenge, you are going to reach your arms up towards the ceiling as you do this exercise. If that is not safe, bring your arms down, right? Be kind to your body. We have lots of options. Go into your march. So heel raises, this can even be done seated, right? You could be marching in a seated position. Feel free to hold on, right? There's no shame in holding on. Feel free to be doing the heel raise. Couple more. All right, even yourself out right to left. And take a break, shake it off. Let's do a brief shoulder stretch. Bring the right arm in front of you, cross that right arm over to the left, and then use your left elbow to hook onto your right elbow and pull your arms in. Just a little deltoid stretch. Let that shoulder move away from the ear, so watch that it doesn't creep up towards your ear. And switch sides, so other arm comes in front, crosses the body, hook the elbow, pull it in. And release, shake out those arms. All right, back to those externally rotated bicep curls, or the W bicep curls. So grabbing those weights if you want them. Turn the palms to face forward and then out as best you can. Then bend the elbows into that W shape and lower down at your own pace. Maybe one or two more. All right, and then taking a break, shake out those arms. Put the weights to the side. Place your hands on the back of your chair or to the wall or to a table. We're going into an upside down L, but this time feet can stay narrow. So walking those feet back, torso comes close to parallel to the earth. It doesn't need to be perfect. Your torso can be slightly lifted. Your knees can be bent. Just make this feel good. Couple of deep breaths. Lift that torso up, walk yourself back up to stand. All right, so we did some seated leg lifts. We did some marching and standing. Now we're going to do some standing leg lifts. The lifts are going to be very small compared to what we were doing in terms of our marching, of how high our leg goes. So when we're marching, oftentimes we're able to get that leg, that thigh parallel to the earth. Your leg lifts are not going to go that high. They'll be much lower, most likely. So holding on to your support. I'm just switching sides because I've been holding on with one hand the whole time. You don't need to do that, but you can. So holding on to your support with one hand. We'll take that right leg forward in front of us. So my right heel is touching the ground. My left foot is planted. I'm mirroring you. We're going to lift that right leg up to whatever height you'd like and then bring it back down. So we're now doing standing leg lifts. So we go up and down. Now, as you do this, I'm going to give you a side view. Try not to change the shape of your spine, right? So the torso is still, it's just that leg bone moving, not this, right? I'm not curving my spine to lift the leg. If this feels like too much, you can go back to the march, right? The lifting of the leg. You could also do this seated again in the chair. All right. Bring that down and we'll switch legs. So other leg comes in front. We lift and lower. Again, the spine stays out of it. Torso stays relatively still. We're thinking about that thigh working. If you go slower, it's harder. All right, and then coming down, shake that off. Okay, grabbing your weights. We're now doing a combo of the two bicep exercises we did. So we did the traditional bicep curl and then the externally rotated curl. So all we're doing is going to alternate between the two. So with your weights or without, we bicep curl, bring it down, turn the arms out, W curl, bring it down. Regular bicep, down, then W, down. Keep going at your own pace. So as always, don't worry about my speed. Nice smooth breath. So I don't really mind what breathing you do. Just don't hold your breath. Couple more. All right, and let's let that go. Put those weights down for a moment. Back to our straight leg lifts. So holding on, if you want, for more challenge, you let go, right? You can choose to not hold on or hover your hand over your support. One leg comes forward. One leg is your standing leg. We lift and lower a straight leg. So again, all of the same options apply. You can keep holding on. You could go back to marching. You could sit in your chair and do the leg lifts seated. Slow it down if you need more challenge. Maybe one more. And then switch sides. Other leg goes up and down at your own pace. Maybe one or two more. And then let that go, shake it off. Last set of these bicep curls. So we're doing the regular curl into the W curl. Grabbing your weights, palms turned to face forward. Regular curl down, then turn the arms out, W curl down, turn the arms forward. So at your own pace. Maybe one more of each. Put the weights down. Reach the arms back. If you can, you're interlacing your fingers. If you can't grab, you're just reaching those arms back. Squeezing those shoulder blades together, lifting those arms up. Again, if you're not holding on, you're still lifting those arms up. All right, and release. Going into a quad stretch. So this can be hard if your knees don't like to bend. So if it doesn't work for you, don't have to do it. I'm going to face my chair for support, holding on with one or both hands to begin. We'll bend the right knee. So right knee bends, and then that thigh goes back. You could stay here. That gives you enough opening, or if this feels safest on your body. If you need more, you're going to bend the knee more to grab a hold of your foot. And then we're stretching that front of the thigh. If that's too much on your knee, don't worry about it. You don't need to do it. If you really want to grab the foot, you could grab a strap, a belt, a towel, and sort of lasso your foot. But we're not here very long, so I wouldn't worry about it, but you could do that after class. And then release, and we'll switch sides. So bending the other knee. Your thighs are next to each other as you bend that other knee. Maybe that's all you feel like doing, right? Maybe that's all the bend that your body can do. If you want more, then you're reaching back, grabbing the foot. Of course, this requires balance, so if that's too much, you just go back to holding on and just bending the knee, totally fine. All right, and we release. Both hands on the back of your chair or onto the wall or onto a table. Upside down L, rock yourself back. Now in your L this time, you're going to alternate bending one knee and then the other. This can be as slow or as fast as you'd like. And straighten out both legs. Hold for a breath. And bring yourself all the way up. Take a step away from the chair. Standing nice and tall. Let's inhale, circle the arms out to the side and up towards the ceiling. Exhale, lower the arms down. Inhale, circle the arms out and up. Exhale, lower down. One more. Inhale, circle the arms out and up. Exhale, lower the arms down. Awesome job, everybody. Thank you so much for joining today. Always great to have you. So our move of the week is going to be sort of a repeat of last functional fitness class. So straight leg lifts. Although today we did it in two different ways. So straight leg lifts, right? We did the standing version of the straight leg lifts. But the original one that I had you have as homework was the seated straight leg lifts, right? Because anytime you're just sitting in a chair, you could add doing, 10 of these. And that would really be great for strengthening those thigh muscles. So straight leg lifts, I'm going to write that down. If I have a pen nearby. And then, here we go. And then we can open it up for questions. Just give me one moment to write this down. Highly recommend you write it down too. Alrighty. I'm going to. Now, if anybody has any thoughts or questions, now is your time. Asking questions specifically about class, or if you have GoGo questions, reach out to GoGo directly. Iris, I see you wrote something in the chat and then you're raising your hand. Did you want to add something to what you wrote?
I just wanted to ask about what to do when you get a leg cramp. Like when putting the leg back, I was getting a cramp in the back of my thigh.
Yes, great question. So leg cramps happen a lot. We don't always know why they're happening. Sometimes they're happening because the muscles aren't used to contracting. So what do? You just stop doing you stop doing the exercise. So I believe you're talking about when you were doing this, where you're bending that leg back. Right. So and then you get that cramp because these muscles are working to lift the lower leg. So I would just bring the leg down. You could stretch the back of the legs. You could do a little hamstring stretch. Legs could be separated or together, and then you go back into it. The more you do it, likely, the more it will go away. There's also some very, very little research on it, but there is some research that maybe there's some dehydration involved with cramping, although that's usually involuntary cramping. Whereas here you are doing the movement. So if it cramps, stop, stretch, try again.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think I saw somebody else raising their hand. Yeah, go ahead.
What is the weight? How much weight it should be there?
Whatever amount of weight that feels good for your body. So we generally suggest for the arms, you do something, especially if you're new, 1 to 3 pounds. If you've been exercising for a long time, you could do 4 pounds, 5 pounds. It's up to you. What feels good?
Thank you.
Interesting. Kathleen, you're saying that GoGo stopped sending you Monday sign-up emails. So the first thing I would do is have you checked your spam? Sometimes GoGo, that's happened to me before too, where GoGo can just it accidentally ended up in spam. And then V is also writing here if you could give her your email and then she can look into what's going on if there's something on our end. All right. Hi, John.
Let's try that. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay. An idea for the person who just asked about cramps. Here's what I have found from doing this is that when you have a cramp, there's always one optimal place where you can place your leg or your arm or whatever and it'll go away. All you have to do is find the optimal place, and there always is one. I've never had one when there wasn't one. And just patiently wait 5 or 10 seconds, it goes away. So it's all about finding the spot that's just right. I thought that might be helpful.
Thanks, John. Yeah, I love when everyone provides their input. It's nice to have lots of different perspectives. So thank you. Linda, so sort of out of the scope of what we do here in this class, I do work with a lot of people with stroke patients. So what's really hard to say, so Linda's question, if people don't see it, is what are a couple exercises for stroke patients that are recovering? What's so hard is I don't know what degree, right? Some people have more issues with walking or balance or have loss of movement completely on one side of the body. So I can't really answer that without knowing what's going on with the patient, and then asking about the patient would not be appropriate for this class. So what I would say instead is having them move as much as possible and doing as much as they actually can. So sometimes what I see is when someone has a stroke, other people start to do everything for them. And it's reminding yourself to not help so much and for them to try and do more. So if someone is now, they used to brush their teeth with their right hand, now their right hand doesn't work, and now they're only using their left hand, maybe they use both hands so that they can go back to using the right hand. It's basically move as much as you can, do as much as you can with both sides of the body. Try not to ignore one side, because that's often what happens is we just start to do something with one side because the other side is struggling. So that's sort of my very general response, but I would talk to the doctor and hopefully they have a PT or an OT that can help guide them in exercises. And then I'm seeing Sonia's message, thank you. And I think I saw Chloe also said that as well earlier. Yes. Any other questions about class? Of course, if you're ready to leave, you're absolutely welcome to leave, so you don't have to hang out. Yes, now.
I'm new here. I just wanted to say thank you. It was a great workout.
Great, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, if there are no more questions, I will let you go.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, I see, Annette, you're saying appreciate the leg exercises, really need them. Good, great. Well, wonderful to have you all. I hope to see you either on Friday for yoga or next week for more classes. So we alternate the yoga and the functional fitness just to confuse you as much as we can. And hopefully we'll see you next time. Thanks, everybody.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.